Hey guys, so I want to talk to you guys today about a couple different things that are kind of still following the line of what we are on, but maybe a different path that you might be looking to take. And but just to touch up, on our first video we talked about how to feed the calf the milk replacer and how to mix it properly and all that stuff. Yesterday we talked about the water and the grain and the importance of growing the rumen, and our main topic was about scours and what to do after day 3 up to about 3 weeks. We want to make sure that that's really when the importance of the calf really comes in. It's day 3 to day 3 or 3 weeks. Really go over yesterday's video and follow that from day 3 to 3 weeks, and then after that you should be on a pretty good path. One thing that we didn't touch up on yesterday because I kept you guys for so long is so really once it comes to calves we have 2 diseases. So we're looking at scours, which we touched up on yesterday, and then we're looking at pneumonia. And pneumonia is a pretty serious one because scours can be treated by going to Tractor Supply or your local feed shop, whatever, by the electrolytes and what we talked about yesterday. Now, pneumonia is different. Now, if you're into organic farming, and then that's tough. See, because I'm not into organic farming. Because organic farming, I'll be blunt and straight. Organic farmers are lazy farmers that just like to watch their animals fucking suffer and die. If their animals are sick, if they have an infection, if they cut their leg open on a piece of tin on the side of the barn and they get a huge infection, they're just like, just fucking shoot it, because they because they won't call the vet in and give it medicine, and it's fucked up. And I believe in medicine. Once I believe in caring for my animals, right? As any farmer should. But anyways, though, we're not gonna get into a big argument with the organic farmers out there because there's so little of them. So let's not, let's let them keep their mindset. But anyways, though, so when we're looking at pneumonia, if you don't have the money or the immediate access to a veterinarian, which should be your go-to when you detect pneumonia, first thing you want to do is, the best thing to do would be to separate that calf from the rest of the animals. And because of the fact that just like scours, it can be passed along to the other animals. Pneumonia, you have a little bit more time to recoup them and save them than you do with scours. Not in every situation, but in a lot of cases that I've seen, most calves will recover from pneumonia, if you catch it in time. And so signs of pneumonia is you're either gonna see heavy breathing or you're going to see very rapid breathing. And that's going to be signs of pneumonia. Rapid breathing is going to be kind of like the start of it. And then like the heavy breathing, you might have a calf that might not make it. And that's you're going to see a lot of mucus in the nose. It never hurts to just check your calves prior to feeding them. Don't check them for mucus in the nose before after feeding them, because most of the time calves will cover their fucking faces in milk and then you just can't tell, because it's all up in their nose and shit. So check for mucus in the nose. That's typically always your first sign. When I say mucus, even like the slightest amount of mucus. All right, a wet nose is fine. I mean, like, every animal has a wet nose. I mean, including us. But I mean, well, we all know what mucus is. So if you see even the slightest bit, you have to jump on top of it immediately. And that is always typically your first warning sign. So check for mucus in the nose. Check for runny eyes. If you see, in their hair around their eyes, if it looks wet around their eyes, that is a sign of stress. And so then in that case, also check for scours, because stress could mean pneumonia or scours. Droopy ears. One of their ears, now it might be, now to some people that that just don't know animals, it could be funny to look at. I've seen people that have gotten a kick out of it, but they're actually sick. So say one ear is down and then one ear is still standing up, it might look goofy and you might think that they're being funny, but they're actually telling you that they are sick. And it's the most commonly called thing. It's just called droopy ear. And now that is a big sign that you have a sick calf. And then if both of their ears are down, you definitely have a sick calf. And you gotta just monitor them. It never hurts to go buy a rectal thermometer, at your local feed shop. They're typically about $10. And then, but it's one of those things that, and I get it. It's starting out money is so important. I've been there, and it's starting out money. These fucking mosquitoes are crazy here. Well, it just fucking rained, and now it's warm out, so they're gonna be fucking everywhere. I mean, I get it. Starting out money is so important. I mean, even something as little as $10. I get it. But, stuff like a thermometer is such a fantastic investment. I mean, it's $10. Make sure that you get, an animal one. I mean, you can use one. I mean, like, if you have, like, a baby in the house, like most of us parents, we typically have a few rectal thermometers kicking around. I have used them. They do work, but buy the ones for the animals, guys. And remember, 101.5 is the most, is where you want your calf to be. So if you are anything about, I would say, 0.5 degrees or higher, then you're looking at a problem. I mean, it's no different than us, I mean, if we have a fever of 99.5 or something like that, well, you might, like, your head might feel a little funny. I mean, like, you won't be sick, but, I guess I'm just fucking rambling on now, aren't I? You get the point. And, so check for those signs, and then remove the calf if possible. Remove the calf. It's always best to get that thing away from the rest of the animals, because pneumonia can be a very expensive thing to fix once it comes to the vet coming in. And now if you only have one calf that's sick with pneumonia, it can be a very cheap fix once it comes to the vet coming in. And I always suggest whatever they treat the calf with. If, say, you have an extra $80, $100 kicking around. Hang on. I thought I was gonna sneeze. I guess not. If you have a few extra bucks kicking around, whatever they treat the calf with, ask them if you can buy the rest of the bottle off of them. And they will always sell it to you, because, they're in business to make money. So they will always sell it to you, and they'll typically give you, like a few needles and syringes for free. Your local vets are really good. The bigger vets are like, they'll charge you per needle and all that bullshit. So, but if you have, like a local small town vet, they're typically pretty good about just throwing shit in for free. But if you have, some extra money, just buy the bottle off of them. Just so you have it. I do that every single time the vet comes. I always buy the bottle. Smart move at the end of the day, just because then you ain't got to pay them to come back. So, things that can cause pneumonia is when we're looking at pneumonia, we are going to be looking at a draft. And that's typically really where most of your pneumonia are gonna come from for causes is a draft. And so you want to check your whole surroundings. And if you have a barn, like I raised in a barn that should have been fucking demoed. It was so bad. And I think it was a test from a farmer I was working for, and he had my wife and I raise a little over 24 calves for him. And he put us in this barn that fucking nothing could survive in. And I think we may have sent back 15, 17 calves out of all of them, and the rest died. And you know what, though? And then he was all pissed off at me. And because a lot of these calves died. Well, come to find out, they used to raise calves in that barn, and his uncle stepped in on the conversation and said that we had a better outcome than they ever did in that fucking barn. So it was a mess. So check your surroundings. Check for drafts. Now, up here is great. You know, that's called fresh air. Coming down on them is fine. You know, that's just some good airflow, you know, coming down on them. It's what's coming up. Now, it is crazy. It's once it comes to a calf, it's something as simple as, say you have an old barn foundation. And, you know, the old barn foundations are what, about 3 feet high of a concrete, you know, about 12 inches wide. Say there's a crack in it, and say you can see daylight, right? Well, if that's coming in as a draft, even just that smallest, you know, a smallest crack, it's going to give that calf pneumonia. Drafts are drafts. A draft is a very big deal once it comes to a calf. And so if you do find yourself in a situation like that, you can do a lot of things. I've done things where I have made stalls out of hay bales because of the fact that the calf isn't going to eat the hay bale because they don't know, you know, to eat the hay yet. So you can build a stall out of hay bales if you have to, which is fantastic in the wintertime. I've done that in the wintertime a couple different times, and I have had great luck out of it. And just build stalls out of hay bales. If you have a piece of plywood, you know, kicking around, cover up that hole. Get that hole covered up. You do not want that draft coming in on that animal, or else you are going to have a vet visit. And well, I really told you I wasn't going to keep you guys, and I didn't even get to the topic that I wanted to get into tonight. But I really wanted to touch up on that pneumonia with you guys because of the fact that I didn't do it yesterday, and I wish that I did. And so the pneumonia and the scours is really something that you have to watch for with your calves. And no, I'm trying not to discourage you guys. I'm really, because I've been there starting up years ago, and I've been in those shoes, and I know what it's like to invest your money in this animal. And in your mind, you got big dreams, or you might have small dreams, or you might just want to have just the one animal grow up to be a family cow, or you might want to have a small herd, or you might want to have a whole fucking dairy. I get it. And it all starts with that first purchase. But that first purchase is the most important in your mind, and it's the most highest financially too, because you don't have a cash flow coming in yet. I understand that, and that's why I'm really trying to make this as simple as I can for you guys. Don't overthink the calf, but keep a close eye on them. and I'm gonna try to make this ride as smooth as I can for you. And I'm really hoping that we can build your farm, that we can build your homestead. I wanted to get into homesteading tonight. That was the whole purpose of this video. How I started out was saying that I was going to go off topic a bit, but we will just get into homesteading tomorrow instead. And what we're going to talk about is how your homestead can feed your calf for you. So we will talk about that tomorrow. But tonight, I want to leave you guys, hot and heavy with the pneumonia and yesterday's scours. Feel free to definitely do more research into them. And if you have any issues with them, please leave comments, and I can definitely talk you guys through it. Ask me questions. I want to know what's going on your farm, and I really like it when people come to me with questions, and I'm able to fulfill everything that they were wondering, I guess, fulfill their curiosity. And I want to know what's going on your farm. I want to see your setup. I want to know it. So definitely talk to me, leave comments if you guys have questions. And tomorrow we are going to get into a bit more of how else can we feed this calf without buying that $100 bag of milk replacer. But for now, I'll leave you guys with this. I definitely thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.